Hi and welcome to part 2 of this In the Mail episode. I had to split the video into two separate parts because there were a lot of items and it was too long to be shown in a single video. So here is a link on the screen to go watch part 1 of this episode. Our next item is a pack of 20 pieces RGB LEDs in a 50/50 SMD package. I got these from eBay with no particular use in mind, but their general purpose, and it's nice to have them around for when you decide to stick one of these on some board you are designing. It is particularly difficult to search for these on eBay because there are a lot of auctions with their title containing LED, 50/50 and RGB keywords, when in fact they sell individual red, green or blue LEDs. So you'll find the link in the description for this, just to make it easier for you to purchase something similar if you're interested in. Next up we have this 10 watt LED module. It's supposed to output 900 lumens, but as we all know, they tend to overestimate these figures. I believe I got the warm white variant, if I'm not mistaken, and according to its specs, it should pull about 900 milliamps at 12 volts DC. I have these test leads coming from my power supply, which is set for 9 volts just to be on the safe side. So let's test this LED. It seems we have the positive and negative marked on this metal case. Yeah, so the LED is quite bright, and at 9 volt it's pulling just 250 milliamps. So I'm not sure if I go up to 12 volt. Let's check. Yeah, this gets quite hot, and it would need the heatsink to be able to run it longer than just a simple test. So that's it for this simple. I don't want to destroy this LED just because it will overheat and burn the LEDs inside this die. So I got this LED, and I ordered a couple of other models because I wanted to evaluate their light output and how easy it is to drive them, and also how much heat they dissipate. This was only $1.64 on Banggood, and the link is in the description below. Next we have another LED module, this time a 4 watt one. This one should have an output of 400 lumens at 12 volts and 480 milliamps. Let's apply the same 9 volt DC from my power supply and check this LED out. As we can see, it's larger in size than the previous LED, but it has a lower output. We also have the positive and negative marked on these tabs. I'm just gonna touch them, and we're getting no output. Could it be that this LED needs more than 9 volts? Let's try 12 volts. Alright, so now we get an output. So this LED will need probably at least 12 volts to get it running. I can see it's a rather cold white color. So yeah, this is one of those COB modules which actually have multiple LEDs inside hooked up in series. So that's why it was not working on 9 volt, because for example, if they have something like 4 LEDs in series or even more, you need at least 12 volts to get them to light up. Same as with the previous module, I got various modules of these COB LEDs just to evaluate them. This one was only $1 with free shipping, and the link is in the description below. Next we continue in the same LED category, and we have this 4 watt RGBW star LED. I never worked with an RGBW LED before, but there is
nothing complicated here. They just have an extra die in there for white. I'm not sure what these are intended for, but you can clearly see there are 4 individual dies inside that LED package. I think if they were in smaller size, they would have been useful for large LED displays to get a better, cleaner white across the panel, but in this case, with this high power at 4 watts, it might be intended for another application. Myself, I plan to use it for creating a room ambient light together with some side glow fiber optic tube. A while ago I was browsing through AliExpress and noticed this tube like a fiber optic that shines light through its walls, and you get an effect similar to EL wire. These tubes come in all kinds of lengths and thicknesses, and I was thinking I could use a piece of tube, run it along the floor on the edge of the walls, and at one end I would build some kind of light injector with using this LED. It would be nice to be able to adjust for a whole spectrum of colors, including white, so that's why I went for this RGBW LED. That's also the reason why I searched for a higher power one, because I would need the light to go over several meters of that fiber optic tube. So if I ever get around to working on that project, I'll do a video, and a link for this LED is in the description below. Next up, I have an LED lamp, and it's one of those gooseneck type LED lamps, which has this USB power input. So I changed the camera angle a bit to get a better feel of how big this LED lamp is. It's just a little over 30 centimeters in length, and it's basically one of those reading lights. It was under $5 shipped on eBay, and I think it is exactly what I need as a bedside reading lamp. The power input is through this USB jack, which makes it very easy to plug into my bedside USB charger or even a power bank, and I have a power bank right here. Let's plug it in and see if it works. Yeah, it works quite fine. I really like this small clicky switch, and you can use this clamp to secure it to something like a shelf or the bedside, and you have a working reading lamp, which is really nice. I guess the only thing that I don't like about this lamp is the rather cold LED light. I didn't have an option to get a warm white or cold white version when I ordered it. There was only one model, but I think we can do something about that, because I see here I can unscrew this lens assembly, and inside we have this regular LED, and I have ordered a warm white replacement, and we can desolder this LED and solder in a warm white one after I get the replacement LEDs. These are just your common LEDs that you find on eBay. There will be no problem in finding this. And as we can see, they are using a simple dropper resistor to drive these LEDs. No constant current power supply or anything like that. Just the 5 volts going through a, let me check the value. It's a 6.8 ohm resistor. So that will drop the voltage approximately to 3.7 or 4 volts, which is what this white LED needs anyway. So link for this one is in the description below. This small tape roll is actually a nickel plated strip, and it's the kind used for battery connection spot welding. I don't have a spot welder, but you can solder to this stuff and use it universally. Soldering directly to the battery, it's not recommended, as it poses a high risk of fire or even worse, explosion. As you know, batteries do not tolerate very well heat, so when your soldering iron makes the end of your battery go up to 300 degrees C, there is a high risk of fire or explosion. This thing comes in different sizes, and in the description you'll find a page listing multiple options. This is a 1 meter or 40-inch piece of semi-rigid RF coaxial cable, the RG402 type, which should have quite low losses in the 2.4 to 5 GHz region where I intend to use it. I don't know if you follow Andrew Mcneil's channel on YouTube, but if you're into RF or antenna design, or if you want to make your own 2.4 or 5 GHz antennas, he has a very nice channel with lots of examples of antennas you can build. I saw he was using this type of cable to connect the various antennas he builds to the actual wireless card adapter. One day I wanted to try and build one of his antenna designs, but I was lacking a low loss cable like this, so I never did it. I got this one from eBay for $3.50 free shipping, but as Andrew mentions on his channel, you do have to be careful, as sometimes these cables can be fake and they do not meet the specs. A link to the eBay item as well as to Andrew's channel is in the description below, so do check them out. Our next item is a nice little kit I got from Banggood. It's called a gravity clock kit, and it basically is a clock coupled with probably an accelerometer or some simpler device to measure its orientation. Then it uses that information to rotate the display accordingly, so no matter how you hold the clock in the phone, it will always be upright. This one will have to get its own assembly video, so stay subscribed to my channel. As we can see, it also comes with a front and back plate. These are shaded acrylic plates, and we get the PCB and all the required parts, which are I think they are all surface mount, but all of this in a separate video. Next up, I have this bag of 100 pieces of sanding drums for a Dremel tool. These are very cheap. You pay about $5 free shipping for a bag of 100, and they come in different sizes as well as different grids. There is a link in the description for a whole selection of these. Our next item is this small pack. It came shipped like this in a small yellow envelope. These are a couple of STM32 microcontrollers, which I plan to use in my Darkload project, but these also were ordered last year, somewhere at the end of November maybe, and they arrived in February, which is like, I don't know, too late. At some point I gave up on these. I requested a refund and ordered a couple from Farnell, which arrived in a couple of days. But anyway, now these ones from China arrived. I don't know if I'm ever going to use them. They also have such packaging that it makes me not trust these devices just because of the packaging. Like traveling in this small plastic wrap all the way from China doesn't instill a lot of confidence in using these devices. But anyway, and the next item is a set of this thermal silicone. I have shown stuff like this in previous In the Mail episodes, but this one I got this time I got a different brand. It's the GD9980 thermal conductive adhesive. So this thing, as you can see, it was produced in 2016. It could be 1st of January, or maybe I don't understand these Chinese letters. It says right here it has a shelf life of 6 months, and indeed you do have to use this type of silicone conductive adhesive, because even if you do not open the can, it will just dry up inside and solidify. So yeah, I got 6 of these. They are great for attaching devices to heat sinks, or because of the fact that they kind of harden in a silicone style way, you can basically use them to hold even capacitors on a circuit board, just to give them a bit of mechanical strength. Next, we'll see some items that are not necessarily electronics related, but I do like sports, and I usually use this Xiaomi E sports camera whenever I'm out trekking, and I have purchased some accessories for this camera. First item is this windshield suction cup mount, and you can attach this to any shiny flat surface, not limited to a windshield, and you have a nice mounting point for your camera. It has this articulating arm, and it does articulate in the other direction as well through this articulation. Next, I got this rotary clip mount, and you can basically clip this to your backpack shoulder strap and have the camera chest-like level in front of you. Sometimes that is a nice angle and it doesn't interfere with whatever activity you are doing. And it just has this this part that can rotate, and right here you have your standard GoPro mount, so it's practically compatible with the with your other accessories. I hope to be using this one soon. I also got this lens filter because sometimes I want to use the camera without its waterproof case to make it less bulky and to get a better sound quality. Most of the times you do your activities when it's nice and warm, there is no water that could go in, but there probably is some dust and you want to avoid scratching the lens on the camera, so this lens filter will protect the camera lens as well as add UV protection. And you see this one comes with a nice plastic cap. This one is manufactured by Kingma. It also has UV protection, and it's supposed to be 37 millimeters. So I believe this one goes in something like this. It's just a pressure fit, and then you take the cap out and you have this kind of protection for your camera lens. I quite like it. It seems like a nice addition to this camera. And I also got this square mount. The camera does have a tripod mount on the bottom, but sometimes you don't want to have the extra adapter in there and you want to mount it directly to the GoPro style mounts, and this jacket can help you do exactly that, while at the same time providing some protection for the camera. So this thing goes in something like that. And right here you can use your GoPro style mounts and other accessories. You have access to the buttons. The microphone is not obstructed. Also you can see all the LEDs. The speaker has also the speaker is also visible as well, and you have access to all the buttons and the LEDs. Quite a nice mount. Links for all of these items will be in the description below. And in the end, let me just show you the latest multimeter I got. It's the MetraHit E-Tech version True RMS multimeter. This one I got it as a used multimeter, but it is in excellent condition and I like it very much. A teardown of this meter will follow soon, but I just wanted to show it in the mail segment because, well, I actually got it by mail. So you will be seeing a video soon about this meter, and of course you will be seeing it in my following electronics videos, because I quite like it and I will use it a lot. Well, that was all for today's In the Mail segment. I hope you enjoy this kind of videos. I certainly like seeing other people's electronic related mail items, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, because that really motivates me to keep producing content like this. See you next time.